So after 7 years, Samsung finally stopped pretending the old setup was good enough. And the 2 upgrades we've been begging for might finally be happening. And once you hear the most surprising part at the end, you'll understand why this fold could be the most important one since 2019. Let's get into it. Alright, let's start with what actually changed. For 5 years, Samsung stuck to that same 4,400 mAh battery. And if you've ever used one of those, you already know the pain. Well, that streak may finally be over. The Fold 8 is about to jump to around 5,000 mAh, the biggest battery Samsung has ever put into a Fold ever. And honestly, this is long overdue. The Fold 7 has one of the weakest endurance scores in its category, no matter how you use it. And a 5,000 mAh pack will surely add some extra hours. This alone could fix the biggest complaint Fold users have had for years. But battery isn't the only thing getting a long overdue change. And here's where things get interesting. For the first time in the Fold lineup's history, Samsung may finally boost wired charging to 45 watts. To put this in perspective, the last time charging improved was the Z Fold 2, and since then everything stayed around 25 watts. Meanwhile, other foldables have been miles ahead, pushing faster charging for years. Even Samsung's first tri-fold charges at 45 watts. Samsung is pushing the S26 Ultra to 60 watts, but with the same 5,000 mAh battery. So getting both, a bigger battery and faster charging, in the Fold 8 is actually a huge deal. But before you celebrate too much, here comes the catch. Right now, there's no report about the wireless charging upgrade. Samsung is bringing wireless charging upgrades to the S26 series. But for a smartphone positioned as an all-rounder flagship, slow wireless charging makes the Fold feel unfinished. So don't lose hope just yet. There are still months left before launch. So Samsung could surprise us. And with a foldable iPhone eventually entering the market. Yeah, Samsung can't afford to leave weaknesses on the table. But if they skip it again, that's going to sting. But don't worry, those upgrades won't make the phone thicker. To support the bigger battery and faster charging, Samsung reportedly reworked the Fold 8's internal architecture. Samsung basically squeezed in a bigger battery without adding bulk, meaning the Fold 8 could feel more refined than ever. If you're expecting a radical redesign this year, yeah, you might want to lower those expectations. Samsung spent years trimming and polishing this design into something truly refined. So the Fold 8 will most likely be a refinement year rather than a complete overhaul. But if you do want something completely different, Samsung actually has something else in the works. And this is where things get interesting. A new model with a codename H8 just popped up in GSMA listings. And its model number doesn't line up with the Fold 8 at all. Which basically confirms it. Samsung is developing a second foldable for 2026. This new variant is rumored to have a wider cover screen and an almost square inner display when unfolded. Samsung spent years fixing the biggest complaint about the narrow outer screen, and this wider version will definitely attract fans of Pixel Fold. Plus, with Apple reportedly exploring a square-ish foldable design too, Samsung clearly wants to get ahead of that curve. So the 2026 foldable lineup is going to be crazy. Which one would you actually buy? Samsung already revealed its first tri-fold in South Korea. And yes, it's expected to reach more markets, including the US. And if you want to see how it stacks up against the Huawei Mate X-T and the Z Fold 7, click right here to check that out. This is Techtics, and I'll see you there.